virtual education is only individuals' responsibility to ensure. As Professor R.P. Singh rightly said, that we all need to come together in solidarity, integrity, with pluralistic approach and pluralistic perspective to deal with the challenges of virtual education, virtual mode. While I was looking at few questions in the chatting box, I could see Professor Saba Anis. She was saying visual education is miles away. Dr. Vijay Shri is saying we need to prepare, route is very long, journey is very long. Dr. Sanjay Sharma, his concern is we all need to revisit one concept of teacher and teaching. So we need to revisit the whole concept of teacher and teaching in context of virtual education. Dr. Bishwajit Barwa's concern is how can an expert in learners being mentored during virtual mode? How can an expert mentor during virtual mode? So this is also an important concern. Ms. Charu Mani, who is the principal of a senior secondary school, she is seeing it in a very positive way, and she is raising a concern that we all need to prepare to help the learner. Her concern is learner, and she wants all of us to come together to help the learner. Mr. Ashwani, a PhD scholar in my department, he is saying no dialogue, no education. Socrates method, which yesterday my colleague Dr. Jayashri Mathur was discussing with me, Pankaj, I am taking online classes, but I am not enjoying. Because online teaching is monologue. And my method of Socrates dialogue is somehow missed in between this technology mode. So all these concerns are there. Now who is responsible? Who has to take initiative? Who has to show the path? That these are few fundamental questions before us. Be it resources, be it linguistic diversity, digital diversity, health issues, screen time is all-time high among young people. Internet has become most time pass amongst all of us, be it young children or youth or aged people on WhatsApp and social media sites. We all are spending time on screen. So health become an important concern there, especially the health of young children who are learners at the same time. Now we are telling them to go and attend your online classes. This is not cutting down his or her own time on social media. So this is additional screen time which now society, system, education is allowing them, is wanting them to get into. So my topic, which is having stated all these concerns from different speakers as well as Professor Balram, Professor R.P. Singh, Saluja Sahab. Now, my last point, which I find very interesting when Professor Singh was mentioning egalitarian society, the concept of egalitarianism. Egalitarianism till date is a mirage in physical world, in real world. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is one aim, but egalitarianism is another aim which we are longing. Our constitutional goals are set to meet egalitarian society, which we are still striving, running, trying it out. Then how can we expect virtual world egalitarianism in one go? Surely we need to work very, very hard on virtual world as well as real world to meet the expectations of egalitarian society. It is like the whole discussion is virtual education is teachers' responsibility, students' responsibility. Two of them are equally responsible, or there are much more people, much more players in the game. My understanding says it is a collective responsibility of the system, be it central government, be it state government, be it autonomous bodies like UGC, CBSE, school bodies, all need to work together. As in the beginning I said, this is just the beginning of moving towards virtual mode. My head of the department, Professor Shobha Sinha, suggested that we have landed in the middle. मुझे प्यार होना था, ये मैं सोच रहा था, तो मुझे लगा कि मैं तो already प्यार में हूँ. I am in the middle of love. Now I have I have to learn. I am in the pool, I have to swim, I have to come out. So those challenges are there. So all these questions are there. My presentation have certain points which I have taken from um, University of Delhi's response to MHRD on this social responsibility of teachers and administrators. I would be using few of them also, where my colleague Professor Ranganathan, Dr. Tulika Wadhwa, Dr. Vikas were partners in documenting those. So few points I would be taking from that also. Friends, we have already discussed that there is a big divide on language, on access, on 2G data, 3G data. A good friend of mine, Professor Rajiv Ratan, who is struggling to get into this webinar, but finding it very difficult because of his 2G data in Jammu and Kashmir. DU principals, 3-4 DU principals, when I was discussing with them this concern of students attending these online classes, University of Delhi, reputed, renowned colleges, principals were suggesting, sir, digital education is one thing, but 30 to 40% of my students in my college are not able to attend them because they either do not have smartphone or they do not have access to speed internet. They are struggling with 3G challenge. These things are coming from real experiences of University of Delhi.
Dr. Pankaj Arora, please unmute.
Oh,
we can't hear you.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Can't hear you.
I was passionately speaking for last 20 minutes.
Sir, it just happened, Abhi. Sir, Abhi hua tha. Don't worry.
Yeah. Just mic is not on.
Sir, it just happened right now. It just happened right now. 5 minutes.
Apology to all of you. I'll give you if
sir,
other mic
just
others mic can switch off, we'll give you a gist of what I was stating moment, and then we'll build on.
Sir, just repeat last 2 minutes. It was fine. Just last 2 minutes.
Okay. In last 2 minutes, I was just suggesting that presentation would be based on my university's response to MHRD, where MHRD wanted to know how can universities build platforms, integrated platforms for digital education across India. So those inputs which collectively we worked on at University of Delhi, my colleague Professor Ranganathan, Professor Dr. Tulika Wadhwa, Dr. Vikas were partners in responding to these. Universities, UGC, CBSE all need to work together to meet this challenge of egalitarianism, be it connectivity issue, digital divide. I just stated that in University of Delhi, 3-4 principals of prestigious colleges informed us that their 30 to 40% students are not able to join online classes because they either do not have smartphones or they do not have access to 3G or 4G data, which is speed data, and they are struggling. They are in the remote parts of the country. So such challenges are there even in the metropolitan city of Delhi. So University of Delhi, prestigious institution in India, have set off all those diversities in it. So with all these challenges and diversity issues, we need to go ahead. My first point, Anju, can you share screen now? My first point is like what CBSE and ICSE, which are two important national boards of education in India. Do we need to produce text material for students only in English and Hindi, or do we need to prepare text in regional languages as well? This is first responsibility of organizers, administrators, to provide reading material in multiple languages. We are in India having more than 20 national languages approved in the Constitution of India. Need to have, before jumping to this technology mode, we need to think of providing reading material in different regional languages. And flexibility and freedom should be given to states for structuring the processes. This cannot be done from center. This cannot be done from MHRD. This cannot be done only from CBSE. This need to be decentralized and shared amongst different state bodies to prepare literature in different regional languages. Second important point is flexibility that need to be allowed. CBCS is a structure which allows a lot of flexibility, world-class curriculum, which give flexibility to universities to shift students from one university to another university. Now this flexibility here again, government and or administrators must enable multilateral arrangements for this. Like the Group 10 nations, the Commonwealth Group nations need to reach out to this challenge of widening the range of curriculum and flexibility in academic world. Next point. My next point says the Commonwealth of Learning, which is also where India is also a member, is coming out with a lot of new courses and resources. Now such new, digital literacy, digital reading material in form of audio, video is available across the world on YouTube channel, on Swayam Prabha channel, on different channels of Government of India as well as other countries are available. We need to bring them to one forum. We need to organize them in a way that student can easily access them. People are finding it very, very difficult to access those readings in an organized fashion, and that is a challenge before students as well as parent community. Next slide, please. Now, why we are talking to have this integrated platform for learning among students, among different forums? Because the possibility of synchronizing and asynchronizing audio and visual lessons, this is very, very important, that all audio and video lessons need to be synchronized and asynchronized in different forums where easily identified and used by, so what type of mobile you want. So Balram sir said, Pankaj, I want a mobile which is user friendly. I can use it easily. It should not be very complicated. Same ways I am saying, reading material should be organized in reader friendly mode. Reader should be easily asking questions, easily identifying the relevant topic from relevant forum and using it instead of rushing from one platform to another platform endlessly. That is an important concern. In our country, we are still struggling to have possibility of recording live sessions. This session, this webinar which we are organizing had seen a lot of technical challenges since yesterday. My colleagues, Dr. Hanif Gandhi, Dr. Sunita Singh, Dr. Yukti Sharma, our scholars, we all were struggling to get a forum where people can easily log in more than 200, because we were 1026 registered participants. So we wanted to accommodate most of them, but no technological forum was allowing more than 250. And then technical glitches of recording YouTube live, Facebook live was another challenge. So we were not able to ultimately live it online, but surely we'll upload those sessions afterward. But this challenge of recording live lessons, screen sharing, whiteboard, etc. is another big challenge. We need to educate people and we need to make them accessible, these different technological forums. Facility of interacting in a systematic manner that allow the turning of audio, video on and off for each participant. During this webinar also, and in multiple webinars happening all around the city, all around across the world, lot of webinars are happening where people unintentionally disturbing, unintentionally. Their intention is not to disturb, but because they are not familiar with how to mute their speaker and how to mute their video, they are just getting into chatting amongst themselves without realizing it's going live. So such facilities of interacting and audio on and off is also required. Moderators, instructors are another important condition of such online challenge, online education model. Next, please. Provisions for creating and submitting assignments. Now, this challenge will be discussed at length tomorrow when we will be discussing assessment. But how can we create forum of receiving assignments, feedback, and multiple choice quizzes from students is another challenge which my university is facing, and I'm sure many more universities are facing. Now, teaching is happening because of Zoom, because of Google Meet, because of Google Duo. What about assessment? How can we assess now? Most of the universities are towards the end of the academic session. Now their challenge is how can we ensure that people are assessed on their work? So that struggle is still there, that challenge is still there. Linkages to YouTube channel, privacy issues there. We need to establish 24/7 call center to resolve technical glitches at university level, at state level, at regional level. These are very, very important concerns in this whole scenario. Next, please. We need to have tie-up with multiple, we need to have tie-ups with education, with multiple national and international platforms for quality augmentation of teaching learning process. This collaboration, these international tie-ups cannot happen by individuals. Again, my point is like administrators, teachers, government need to pitch in and make sure that these tie-ups happen so online teaching learning can become more successful. Educational institutions, integration of content available across different institutions need to be explored and collectively prepared for the betterment of students. Now, another important concern on this era of online teaching and learning is research. How can we ensure research is happening? Because few of my fellow friends have asked the concern, how can mentoring be happening on this online thing? So all universities, the way Professor Balram said in his presentation, that universities are being ranked for their productivity and for their quality. So research profile of all universities is very, very important. How can we maintain the quality of research? How technology and virtual simulation platforms can help us maintaining quality standards, especially in sciences, where we are having lot of lab-based research. Can we have digital labs in place? Do we need to have digital experiments? So sciences and B.Ed, law, where a lot of practicum is required. How can we ensure those practicum is happening on this digital mode? Like internship in school, internship in a hospital, medical college. How can we ensure that these practical activities are also taking place along with science practicals, which are important for science students, as I mentioned earlier. Mass scale advertising for access of information is happening all around, but facing lot of logistic issues. Logistic issues like the platform need to be prepared with minimum presumptions about access to infrastructural facilities. In India, Namaste was an app which was launched in the beginning of lockdown situation, but that app is still in the initial stage, needs lot more improvement and become user friendly. Still people are depending on other countries' meeting apps like Google and Zoom, and privacy become a serious concern there. So first important requirement from government and administrators and system is to provide such platforms for meetings, for discussions, for assignment submissions, for research, for lab work, for practicum component, and so on. Training provisions for teachers, learners, parents is a big need. Lot of my school friends, lot of my friends who are teaching in school or heading school institutions are saying that parents are finding it very difficult to allow their children. Children are not, because children need some guidance and support, especially when it's teaching. When they have to play game, they can manage on their own. But when it's education, they say, "Humse ho nahi ga." So either parents should help us or they are not doing. So lot of teaching, a lot of training sessions are required across the nation. Mass scale advertising for this information of learning process is again banned the way I suggested. Smartphone, computers, laptop, internet. These are the basic requirements. Now people have started saying along with right to education, we need to provide right to technology, right to internet should become part and parcel of right to education as a fundamental right. So those challenges are also there, which people as administrators and policymakers can think of, which are sociological needs, training for teachers and parents, I already mentioned. Next, please. Now, few suggestions for assessment evaluation of the current academic year to wind up and next academic year to begin with. Assessment can be decentralized with greater involvement of teachers with several options. So, like Bombay University yesterday announced that they are going to promote first year and second year students without any formal examination or evaluation. But third year students need to be evaluated because they will be completing their degree in 2020. So my point is, like, multiple options should be given to different universities so they can exercise them. We have to trust teachers, we have to trust colleges, we have to trust universities. We cannot bring a centralized mechanism for evaluation. So possibility of exploring alternative modes of assessment, such as on-demand examination, non-traditional way examination, open book examination, long essays, paper writing, etc. is need of the hour, and we must think of these options. On the smaller scale, teachers should be suggested to conduct assessments through project, through text-based questions, through assignments, which can be submitted by students at different timings, not at same time, as per their convenience, as per their lockdown situations. Next, please. Now, this is my tentative proposal, how administrators and government should behave in this online education mode. One is consolidating the courses and organizing them in single database. It means courses like the NCTE has recently initiated of bringing different readings related to B.Ed curriculum on NCTE website on a centralized model. Professor Sarosh Sharma, a good friend of mine, is a chair for this committee. I am partner with her in this. So there we are trying to bring certain themes, and those theme-based readings should be connected with them. Students across the country can access them. But again, challenge is, will these online readings provided by NCTE be in different languages or in English and Hindi only? NCTE, besides this, second is making courses available through multiple modes. It is not only internet, it is not only these apps which are useful in teaching and learning. Lot of remote parts of country demand radio and television lessons. The way our Delhi government requested central government to give time on radio and television for school students. Similarly, we need to use those radio and television techniques for reaching out to different students in remote part of the nation. Third point, legitimization and spreading awareness about these learning platforms. These platforms need to be popularized and legitimized by various institutions. I should not be posting a reading by Macaulay, by Gandhi, by Ambedkar to my learner on my university website, because there is copyright issue. So this copyright issue, this transparency issue, this privacy issue need to be addressed by government and stakeholders in the administration. Vacation time. So these are few. Now my last point, next please. My last point is, what are the concerns and challenges? These I have tried to consolidate my concerns and challenges here. One, language barrier, already discussed, need to be addressed by administrators, by government. Disciplinary considerations. Each discipline have its own specific nature based on, and that specific nature become base for teaching and learning process in that domain. So those disciplinary considerations need to be taken into account. Idea of learning considering that primary goal of educational institution is to ensure learning. No, learning is much more than that. Online learning system would seem narrowly focused and only as an alternative to the regular system at best. So regular system can be supplemented, can be complemented by this online mode, but cannot replace this regular mode. Practicum component, I have already discussed the need of labs. Law students, medical students, B.Ed students need to go for a lot of practicum. How to address those is a concern for society, is a concern for administrators as well as teachers. Teacher-student relations. Lot of our friends in chatting are raising this question. How can we chat? How can we build a rapport with the learner? So, till date, we have been exercising teacher-student relationship in very positive, healthy environment in a classroom situation. How can we bring it to online mode? My student is logged into my class, but because of technological glitches, I have advised them to switch off their mic, to switch off their camera. So I am not sure whether he or she is virtually present, but mentally present or no, I am not sure. Actively doing something or no, because two people cannot chat on online mode at a time. It creates chaos and echo in between. So these are student-teacher relation related issues, and ensuring an unbiased presentation of the content is another challenge, because nowadays social sciences says content is developed in context. Earlier it was developed on timeline, people, dates, history. Now it is developed through context. So in my context, one point is correct. In Tamil Nadu context, that point may not be correct. In Italy context, one is correct. In Japanese context, it may not be correct. So context-based curriculum and reading and how to ensure unbiased presentation of content is another important thing. What are the aims of online learning? We need to ponder upon. We need to give a deep thought to this. And variations in curricula across institutions. Within India, within Delhi, we have 7 universities, and all 7 universities have different curriculum for B.Ed. So how can we prepare online reading material for so many variation in curricula across institutions? So that need to be again addressed. So these are few concerns, issues, challenges, but yes, we need to start, we need to solidarity, integrity to work upon and start doing it. Having stated that, all this, my last point is this lockdown situation, this presentation is there, can be seen in a positive way, that it's boosting the necessity to work on online modes. And we must take it positive. We must look at it as an opportunity. Let's face the challenge and work together. The agenda which was there for next 5 years has become very, very emergent for next 1 year. So the tasks we were supposed to do in next 5 years are now we are supposed to do within next 1 year. From March 2020 to March 2022, 2 academic sessions are experiencing this challenge. How to address it is a big issue. So we should look at it as a positive beginning and try to join hands and try to resolve this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Nice presentation by sir on social responsibility for teacher and administration in virtual mode.